Yeah, so I'm starting to feel good about this. I'm really starting to get a substantial number of sims documented, and I'm getting a little bit of feedback too, which is nice. Positive feedback so far. So it looks like Sleepless Nights is the next sim. Okay, bird's eye view. Ah, what do we have here? Looks like a schooner. Actually, that's more like a galleon. Good enough. Close enough. Oh, it looks like we have, yeah, of course, two sims side by side. I should have noticed that it was on the map. Clear as day. This looks nice. This looks very well thought out and put together so far. Ah, and looks like there's a lighthouse too. We're 2 for 2. Hmm. Yeah, so lots of buildings on this sim. Frame rate's lagging hard on me here. So yeah, this is another sim over here. So just try to focus on this one here in the middle of the screen. Looks pretty good. Yeah, definitely I'm liking this already. That's ridiculous. There's like a disclaimer. Group owned. Trying to just get the basic info here. Let's see, objects. Almost 4,000 out of 45,000. That seems to be pretty typical for the more well-developed sims. Traffic 0. I'm just gonna stop even bothering reading off the traffic because that has got to be unreliable. So now here I like this. See, basically you have a totally unconventional lighthouse design with like a spiral staircase going up the outside, which I think is like I don't know if there are any lighthouses in existence in the real world that have a staircase that goes around the outside, but I just want to point out here that the builder did a really excellent job of like pulling it off. I mean, basically they did it in a believable and attractive way. And I like this fire pit there. That's great. Now this is a great lighthouse. I mean, it looks great. So, well done. Yeah, looks like we got a windmill here. Once again, really nice construction. Whoever built this, I mean, you can tell right away that the builder was basically custom fitting these structures to the landscape. Either that or they were custom fitting the landscape to the building. But anyway, it looks pro the way they basically have this little walkway here with the supports. I mean, it looks structurally sound, like believable. It's just those kind of like extra mile touches that really make a sim exceptional and stand out when it otherwise would have been maybe just sort of mediocre. So yeah, basic boat there. So stable without any horses. That's cool because if there were horses they would no doubt just be sitting there not doing anything since they would not be animated. It's always a good sign when the doors work. That usually indicates that the build quality is a little bit higher than normal. Oh, even check that out. They even bothered with shadow maps. Since this is InWorldz uses an older version of Second Life sort of as the core, they don't, as far as I know, it doesn't support shadows, like real-time lighting and shadows. So if you want to create a shadow effect, you actually have to make a texture of a shadow and place it underneath the object. And clearly, if you can see, the light source is supposed to be here. This is also a texture rather than an actual light projection. The artist here went to a lot of extra work to make that look more realistic with those shadows that are all basically hand done. You got your beer taps here. Looks like a keg is missing, or what happened is when they res those, they probably didn't. Those are like off center basically, so they slid the kegs over there and they forgot that these weren't grouped, so that basically the spigots got chopped off. But it's easy enough to fix. Yeah, so this is great. I mean, this is definitely well above average in terms of virtual world construction. In fact, I'm almost seeing just a little bit of a spark of genius here. So it's this kind of sim that makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time doing these documentaries, that I'm actually seeing something pretty awesome. Nice swords. See, now this is a perfect example. Like, these swords are actually to scale. Unlike this other place I went to the other day where there was like these giant swords that were like 6 feet long. So definitely when you're building, if you don't have scale down, you really need to... God, I'm really having trouble navigating in here. Yeah, if you don't have scale down, you really should brush up on your skills. A nice little bedroom hidden up here. Let's see if I can actually navigate through here reliably rather than just bouncing around. Yeah, it's a pretty tight internal structure. Yeah, this isn't working. I keep clicking on invisible objects or something that changes my focal point. Sorry about that. I'll try to just go in through the outside windows. That's usually the most reliable method. So it looks like this is kind of an inn, as well as having a little common room downstairs. Anyway, great job on the architecture of that building. Like, really excellent. Nice well. Yeah, everything on this sim is above average in terms of build quality. And not just a little above average either, like quite a bit above average. Is this a forge maybe? The color schemes are really well integrated too. Alright, it was already in there. Okay. Looks like a boathouse. Maybe no, like a fish house. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Great job. That's like a raven. God, that's beautiful. And those fish look good too. Really well done. It's too bad there's nothing inside there, but after all, when you spend as much time as this sim owner obviously did on the orchestration of the whole place, you're not going to have as much time to furnish everything. So yeah, these buildings are just like what I think of as prop buildings that are just there to kind of lend a little coherency, make things look a little more inhabited. So it looks like there's a little castle over here. This is nice. Like, this is really a good job, like the way this is set up on the water so that you can like sit in here and look out. And this is a nice environment. Fireplace that I could definitely use with a big roaring fire in there. Yeah, chess set. It could be playable. Or not. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. And it's pretty boss when you have like things like this on a sim where like there's I mean you would call it like a mini game, sort of canon terminology. And it's like armor, like a helmet and a shield maybe. Yeah, this is like kind of like a little mini museum sort of. I don't know, it's cool. Anyway. Nice library. Most of the times someone builds a library, they're just textures. Like a flat texture. This is a lot nicer than average. Although I guess I can stop saying that since I've already said it about 50 times. Oh, this is cool. Fully set dining table. Corn on the cob. Potatoes. I know those look like yams, maybe. Kind of fish. Bread, cheese, apples. Some deer head over here. I've seen a few of these things, like this deer head chandelier. I've seen that in another sim. So obviously, once again, the ecosystem is coming into play. Yeah, so nice castle. Pretty nice castle. Oh, cool. A mill house. I love water wheels. It's awesome. Although, it really should have had like a stream of water on either side, or maybe just a particle effect to make that look a little more realistic. I mean, it's good enough, but I'm just kind of nitpicking. So obviously this sim owner is holding themselves to a pretty high standard. Oh, this is excellent. I mean, not only do they have the wheel outside, but they actually have a working gear system in here showing the grain being ground. That's really good. Okay, so it looks like we have a little market right here. Kind of an unusual placement for a market. It's not very accessible. But why not? Oh, this is interesting. Kind of have a bulwark here. Maybe a prison, since those look like bars. But I really like the way this is kind of integrated into the mountain here. It really gives it a cool look. Definitely a dungeon of some kind. Oh, that's cool. This whole thing is like a underground area. Just kind of walking through this in reverse, trying to find where it goes. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Is this behind the waterfall dealie here? No. Looks like it's just a straightforward waterfall. Kind of refreshing to see that occasionally. Oh, I gotta be careful I don't go over to that other sim. Wonder if there's more to this over here than just a little surfy island. Doesn't look like it. Sometimes people have like little outcroppings off to the side that have like a little grotto or something, and there's like a lantern up in the sky. I would remove that if I was the sim owner, unless it's there for some reason. Probably just an accidental placement when they were building. So yeah, it looks like I've seen everything over here. I'm assuming that this sim over here is a part. Like the person who owns this sim probably owns that one too. Obviously a skilled developer, and yeah, this is a sim to be proud of, definitely. So good job, guys.